Today we're going to talk about the timing of your life. When is the right time that something will happen in your life, or when the right time it should happen? So we're going to talk about if you're off time. You might be off time on your life. So you have to see if you're in time or you're off time. And that will determine how your life will progress for the next. Last time we were talking about omens. In other words, we talk about signs. And the most important signs is our hands and our face, our feet and so on. So if you see a kid like that, what do you think? Oh, he has a lot of problems, right? Yeah. When you see a kid like that, that doesn't mean a kid is not happy, right? Or when you see the person is clapping, that means happiness and so on. Or that's what we call it in India, we call it mudras. In other words, we call it hand gestures. So how you do your hand, if you do it like that, or if you do it like that, it all has meaning, right? And then if you notice, some of the gods in the pictures, they sit like that. And if you're going to sit like that, that is called the heart mudra, which is the one that gives you strength and energy and so on. And then there's there's one like that, which means you're bowing to the universe, and so on. And there are different, the way your hand gesture, I can look at your hand gestures and know what you're thinking. So to guess the hand, how you move your hands and you get hand gestures. Now, of course, all the husbands know when the girl goes like this. You know that means. That's not a mudra. Okay, so now our body movements, our body language is very important. Whenever, that's why in the lotus position, when you sit down like that, the reason why the Hindus came up with this lotus position is because if you're being attacked by a spirit or some negative energy, when you sit in this position, it cannot attack you. It's just called the lotus position of Shiva. So when you sit in that position, you're not subject to any attack from anything negative. So that's why, and even if they do attack you, the energy holds it up. That's why because you sit straight leg, you can easily fall. Sit like this, you can't fall easily. So again, how you sit, what you do, if you sit down and eat and watch TV, that's bad, because your body has signal that tells you when to stop, and then you don't know when the signal comes because you're watching TV, and so on. So all of these movements are very important. When a person is very disciplined, and so they know how to sit and they know how to place themselves and so on. Okay, again, the question is, there's always questions, huh? When am I going to get married? It's always about time. It's all about time. When am I going to get a husband? When I'm going to get a child? When I'm going to finish school? It's always the word when. People have more questions of when than how or what, right? The whats and the hows are less, but the when is always bigger. Because when they ask, when is something going to happen? When will you come home? When will you stop coming around? Or when you stop drinking? Right? Or when is he going to stop writing? Right? So always when. So this is what we're going to talk about today, the word when. 15 years ago, this young lady, she was 24 years old. So she saw me, she was going to college, and her mom was with her. Her mom said, "Swami, I want my daughter to get married." Her name is Vidya. True story. So now, she says she's not ready, she's going to school. So when she was 30, the mother says, wants her to get married to, so she found a boyfriend. But she tell the boy that she's not ready to marry yet. So at 35, the guy left, so she left alone again. And then I talked to her and I said, you know, you need to get married. And she says, Swami, I'm not interested in you finding anyone for me. So I said, okay. So at 40, which is recently, I introduced her to a guy, very nice guy, very spiritual and so on. And she said, and he was like 2 inches shorter than her. He says he's too short. So she's still looking. Right? So at 41, she's not married yet. She's still waiting. Right? And so, as you can see, there are many people like that. But one that interests me very proficiently is the ones that go to college. So they said they go to college, and they said that they're not ready to have kids. So they get married, they're not ready to have kids because they're still finishing up some courses. So they say, okay. But then she says, you know, I'm not ready to have kids yet, I'm trying to have some fun. So then, you know, she keeps going to college or keeps doing what she's doing and working and so on. And then at 32 or 33, she's ready to have a kid, and she comes to see the Swami, and the Swami says, she says, okay, I'm ready to have a kid now. And I look at the chart, and she said, and it shows that she can't have a kid. Right? So now we have to make extra effort to help her out to maybe have a kid. It might work, it might not work. But somehow we think that we can do it when we want to do it. And not when God makes it happen. The first guy that came to her at 24, if she had grabbed that, maybe she would have been happy. If she had even, God gave her another chance and sent her another guy at 30. And she still didn't refuse. Right? Send her, okay, give her another chance. Send her another guy at 35. Right? And still didn't want to do it. Right? So obviously, at some point in time, she refused. Another good case of timing is when a couple meet, and they meet at 17 or 18, and they said, and she gets pregnant. And then she says, I'm not ready to have a kid. So she gets an abortion. Right? Then the guy somehow leaves. They split up, maybe a 2-year or 2 after. And then she says, you know, it's a good thing I didn't have the kid, because you see, he would not have stayed. So which one came first? Probably if she had had the kid, the guy would have stayed. And that's very true. It's like growing a plant. You'll see everybody who had a first-time abortion, split from that guy. Because the abortion causes a split. Because you cut the fruit from the flower. Cut the flower and fruit for that would take the fruit. So technically you stopped the plant from growing. So it's very important that you remember that abortion will affect the relationship no matter what, which way. Whether the baby comes, and the baby comes is better, and it's bad. So the whole idea is that that's called timing. This is called timing. Okay, and then when they're ready to have a baby, they can have a baby. Now, there are many people who make those questions. They create those questions as, Swami, when is it going to happen? When am I going to have a business? When am I going to win the lottery? When am I going to, have all of these things that I want? Well, it's what you call timing. There's not all the time something can happen. Just like cooking, you just can't pour the the rice in the water when it's cold. You have to heat the water first, timing, and then, so your life is like that. There's a time to play, as they said it in the Proverbs, time to eat, right? And there's a song, right? On that. A time to love, a time to do this and do that. A time for everything. Everything. Right. What is great about you guys is that you have the tool in your hand about the timing. You can figure out your time. You have something called life code timing. The life code timing is very accurate. Okay, so a lot of people now say, okay, well, they try to get married, and when they do get married, and they delay these marriages, they end up marrying a 6-month year or a 9-year, and they end up divorced right after that, right? So timing is very important. When you so you just can't do it like somebody says, well, I'm waiting for the guy, and they're running at 9. When they're running at 9, I says, don't worry, wait. Next year is coming, and so on. You're going to meet the guy. But that's too long, Swami. That's too long. Or, if they call if they come to see me and the guy left them in let's say in the September or October of the year when the 9 begins. They said, oh, he left. I want him back now. And I said, no, you can't have him back now. You have to wait until the time is finished. And when he comes, because if he comes back now, he'll go back again. Okay? Because in a 9 year, if the person comes back to you, they leave again. Right? And this timing can even occur in terms of investments, buying a house, starting a business. You don't start a business in a 9, you will lose the business. And then you don't buy a house in a 9, and you will end up miserable in the house, maybe losing a lot of money and so on. If you buy a house in a 6 year, then you'll have family jealousy and family problems. And then if you buy in a 9 year, 3 year, you'll have lots of children. So sometimes it's good year. If you buy in an 8 year, you'll do well in money, right? So when you get married, the year you get married, the house that you buy, when you buy a house, when you start a business, when you take a trip, all have to do with the word when.
Also, when you're going to have certain conversation, you have to wait for the right moment.
When you want to fight with somebody, yes.
Exactly.
I usually fight them when they are running a 9.
Yes.
So they said, we'll get angry later. So now,
Usually you say, I want to do now.
you want to do
If
now.
you have life goal, you say, oh no, I can do it.
Wait till tomorrow. Yes. So the 9 it can give you a chance to do it back again. But what I'm saying is that also the word when can be answered quite clearly by the life code. So if you insist on saying, okay, I want the guy now, I want the guy to come to my life now, then you're totally going against the universe. So when you're out of time, that means that you are going against the universe, right? So you say, well, either you be patient, you do prayers, you do whatever it is, and wait, find something to do, right? But also, let's say if you're in a good year, and still things are still bad. Now we have to look at karma and see what caused that. That means you didn't do something right. Right? Like what happened to the video lady, who still waiting for a guy to marry her. She had her time, but she's still not able to find the person because she has not found herself yet. So timing is very important. How you time your life is going to be very important, right? Which is why we brought this chart here today. But the important thing is you have to understand you can't just do something when you feel like doing it. And that's why we have the life code to guide you.